folks. Don't forget to click buttons, like, subscribe, all that fun crap that everybody says on every channel. Got all dirt over here. This video, I'll be welding up a square box. If you wonder what the square box is for, go back about 2,000 videos and you see how I was working on a sandblaster probably a year ago. Well, I had to make the little box where the little port, the suction port gets sucked out of it. So I'm using that, and that's what I'm making. And then eventually I'm gonna, well, probably another night, I'm going to attach it to the bottom of the sandblaster, just weld it on. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's just basically it's a square box, so all the sand's gonna go in. Some is stuck on the side, and hopefully it'll flow in there, and it'll get sucked out of the bottom, and I'll run the hose into the machine, so it'll then run the air hose to it, so I can, basically it's a bottom feed suction instead of a tube sucking out of it. Apparently it's better, so we'll see. If I get that done, I will sand down the sandblasting box outside of it. Give it a sloppy red paint job of sunrise red. Set it up over there. I will probably pick up a small vacuum because I still have the Dust Deputy Cyclone air filter thingamajiggy. I'm going to connect the Cyclone to that, run it out the wall, probably. Put an air hose out the wall. Get a small vacuum, suck it through there, out the machine, get the air out so I can actually see. And I'm going to start assembling it back. So keep watching. I got a little bit of a sloppy welding video, and I'll show you the results at the end. kind of screwed that one up. I'll explain what I'm doing in a minute. Hello, folks. This is the end of the video. I had to put all the crap away and make sure my building didn't burn down. But I made this. Basically a box. It's going on the bottom. There's going to be a... It was on here because it was burning hot. Ground the edges down. Probably do a little better job. Just so... I'm not a welder or a grinder, but I didn't want to cut my fingers or anything, even though there's a few sharp edges here. Yeah, I'll show you. Put it down more. It's just a box. All it is it's getting attached on the welding machine. There's a hole being in the bottom and a little like siphon tube. So I'll go back to it. You'll see. I'll put it together, and then I'm gonna start blasting parts. Yay! It only took a year. So with that said, a year later, I'll have the sandblaster set up. I'm psyched. I'm gonna try to make sure it's also near the door, so I can let some air come out. I want to put the vacuum in the hose sucking out so I don't get blasting dust. My old garage, I made the mistake of, I put the sandblaster in the garage and I was sandblasting the box, and then there was dust everywhere. It looked like a volcano hit. So no volcanoes in here this time. Learned my lesson. Everything was covered with dust, like not just a fine coat. It was like covered. I don't know where all the sandblasting glass went. So. And I don't know if I'm going to use glass beads, or everybody's like, use walnut shells or whatever. So I got to start eating walnuts and smashing them up. Not really. I'll just buy a bag of whatever. It's probably super expensive coming from Tariff World. Anyway, thanks for watching. Toodles.